coaching say, I know what my problem is, I always hit off the back foot or I can't transfer pressure, but they can't figure out why. Hi, I'm Peter Knight, and today we're going to look at why that might be the case and what we can do about it. I've created this channel, Peter Knight Golf, to help you play the best golf you can, and today we're looking at how you can shift pressure and the issues around it. So let's have a look. First one relates to stance width. So if I set my feet really close together, the most obvious thing is that I can be challenged in being able to keep my balance during my swing. So my body's not likely to move very much. If my feet are too far apart, then I feel stable, but if I try and shift pressure into the back foot and I'm successful, then there's nowhere near enough time for me to be able to shift pressure back onto my front foot in time in the downswing. So if we look first of all at how that pressure shift should occur or the timing of it, when I set myself up, my balance is even on both feet, I turn back to the top of the swing, and at the top of the swing, even though my body hasn't shifted sideways, when I get back to the top of the swing, I can feel around about 70% of my pressures now on my right foot, on my back foot, about 30 on the front. Now by the time my hands get down to, say, certainly by about chest height, I'm looking to have around about 70 or 80% of pressure back onto my left foot. Now of course that's a very, very short space of time. If my feet are too far apart and I shift across to here, then by the time my hands get down to here, I've still got probably 80% of pressure on here. Now I've got no time before the club gets to the ball in order to get my balance across. So if we look at, say, optimal stance width, and we start off with the idea that we'll have around about 35 centimeters between the feet. So if you're a feet and inches person, that's about 14 inches. Now it might be a little bit wider with a driver, and it may vary slightly depending on your height, but it's not going to change a whole lot. Short shots and pitching is much, much narrower, but we're sort of talking more full swing here. So that's the first thing, is stance width. The second is that when I swing the club back at address, I'm applying, say, my body weight of pressure to the ground. When I swing the club back, let's say I'm in a gym and the exercise that I've been given is to take a medicine ball and throw it as hard as I can into the ground. When I lift that medicine ball up, as my arms go up, the amount of pressure that I'm applying to the ground through my body is way less than my body weight. Well, combination of body weight and the weight of the medicine ball. So I'm going to lift it up, body weight reduces, then I'm applying pressure to the floor and bringing the medicine ball down at the same time. So now the amount of pressure that I'm applying to the ground is way in excess of my actual body weight. In the golf swing, there is an unweighting as you get back to the top of the swing. So when I swing the club back, so from here I've got about 100% of body weight pressure applied into the ground. I'm talking the combination of both feet here. When I swing back to the top of the swing, that's reduced. So even though my body doesn't lift like it would with that medicine ball throw, there is a reduction there. Now, when there's that reduction, there's a lot less pressure acting on me, and so now my lower body can easily drift across to the left like I want it to. So they're the two key things that I see that are the difficulty behind people being able to shift pressure. So first one, stance width, and the second one is allow that unweighting. So when I move to here, I'm not in a hurry to bring the club down. We're still talking the entire motion doesn't take very long at all, but I've got to allow for that unweighting when I swing through. So again, as I swing the club, it's harder to see the unweighting, but when I play this shot, it will be there. And I've got plenty of time to get that pressure back onto my front leg there. When I do that, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of stress through my body that I'm trying to override it. So if you practice that movement, first of all, check your stance width. And the second is just get that feeling, even starting without a golf club, it might be light, and now I can allow my body to go forward. Just drifting forward because my body feels light on my feet. I don't feel heavy on my feet, particularly through the end of the backswing. That's when I should feel lightest.